time cannot be stored. Your time is your life. It cannot be stored. It can either be spent or invested. If it is spent, it is gone. If it is invested, it is coming back. You cannot be greater than what you know and working on. It's a stark reality. I know you did not understand what I said. You know, more than 90% of the people on earth live on false hope. I've given you the story of how I nearly failed the living cert. I was studying. I was a very playful student, by the way, but only during the day. During the night, I was a night hawk. I was studying in the night. So a number of my friends, they queried how I passed. They knew I was brilliant, but they knew I was playful. So they queried how I passed all the time. I hate to repeat a class. I was never gunning for the position of being the first in the class or whatever. It never made much meaning to me anyway. There are some people that is what they like, to be first in the class. I just wanted to chill. I just made sure I passed very well and I did not repeat a class. So in the night, I was studying. When our living cert was coming, I was studying. I was getting past exams, papers. I was studying through them. Some of them I will write some essays and I will send to my teachers to mark. Then all of a sudden, this guy called Richman was the name. We were just studying one day. He said, and nobody should worry. All of us are going to pass. For a moment, not just 1 minute or 2 minutes, for almost 1 month, I believed this guy. Because I was just thinking to myself, I said, probably he knew something I did not know. Maybe the government had said that this will make everybody pass. And I was young, around 17. Say, maybe the government has said, but on the second thought, I just said, let me just prepare myself. I don't know what was going to happen. Fast forward. About a year later, the result had come out. I did well, compared to many other people. As a matter of fact, the day I went into my school to go and receive my result, some of my younger colleagues, what do they call them? The people are the juniors in the school. They were actually coming out to hug me, because all of them knew me to be very playful. That's what they would define me as, But because the result had been pasted and everybody has seen it, some of the teachers have even been talking about the result. I had 3 A's. So it was unreasonable for them. And then I discovered at that time, because a few months after we finished our exam in June, the government canceled it. 1991 June, government canceled it. We had to redo the exam in August. So I got born again in March. The exam result came out around May. So I already got born again that time. So I was going around in a particular place, and I saw this guy. He was already an apprentice. We don't call it fashion designing shop that time, we call tailor. This thing you call upholstery makers, we call them carpenters. Like they said Jesus was a carpenter. It's a different ball game altogether. When somebody is a tailor, it's a different ball game altogether compared to somebody who is a fashion designer. All right, they were actually, tailors were people that sometimes your boxer have holes. You take it to them, they help you sew it together. There is no kind of things that we don't. Real one, I started learning. Me, I did not stand any chance of being successful at being an apprentice of any handwork. I know a bit of handwork, but I've never really succeeded with handwork. Even my brothers always told me when we were younger, that if there was nothing like education, somebody like me will never succeed. And I knew it, because we used to go to the farm together. That is how Real One almost ran me into a false hope. More than 90% of people on earth live on false hope. Somebody is not doing anything. You see me talking about my children. They're always opening their mouth like this, and the teeth are coming out. And people told me they will grow out of it. I have seen people, 90 years old, they're healing. The best way to succeed is to picture yourself as a failure and now knock the failure on the head. But more often than not, 90% of people on earth picture themselves as success, and yet they become failures. Proverbs 20:11, if you can give me. Proverbs 20:11. False hope is what has killed many people on earth. Somebody did not dress well. He said, somehow, everybody will just look at me beautiful in the school. If you don't put effort to be beautiful, the way you are ugly in the mirror is the way you're going to be ugly in the eyes of everybody. God gave you eyes so that you can have a little bit of a taste of how everybody sees you. They are actually not going to see you differently from the way you are looking at yourself in the mirror. The hair is tattered. You say, anyway, people will just see that, it just has some undergrowth. It's unkept. It's not undergrowth. Eyes can test beauty and ugliness. Eyes. That's why they say that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Beholder, somebody who sees it. So nobody can be greater than what they know and what they are working on. What you know and what you are working on is who you are. Who you are right now, as you are seated now, is not this your physical body. You can have beautiful body and an empty future. Because beauty could just be a biological endowment. Because some people don't know how they got beautiful. Your mommy was beautiful. You just gave birth to you, just beautiful. They don't pass sense. Sense is not the same. You have to gain sense by yourself. Knowledge has to be acquired. What you use your time for is what you know. What you use your time for is what you're doing. What you know and what you're doing is what your future is. See, let me tell you what I'm dealing with right now. People have false hope. I just know somehow things are going to be okay. They are not going to be. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, what you see them doing, succeeding in it now, they've been doing it for a long time. They've been working on it. They've been getting new information, accessing new information, appropriating new information, facilitating new experiment, gunning for something. Like when I started, I told you, the information you are in close proximity with, you have become. When somebody is in a close proximity with the information of becoming a billionaire, he's not going to be at rest until he becomes one. Because life forbids that you do not become what is inside you. That's why Jesus said that from the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. And you know what you speak is who you are. Who you are is recognized in the spirit realm. A space is already created for who you are. That's the reason why the use of time, especially when people are young, don't ever say, I know my future is going to be great. If your future is not great now, it's not going to be great then. Your future starts this moment. As a matter of fact, your future is this moment. That's why the Bible says, even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. You can now expand on who you are, but you cannot expand on who you are not. Like he was telling you, he was on fire before he got married. You know, if you are not on fire before you get married, you can't get fire in marriage. You'll be fired in marriage. Marriage will fire you. But if you have gotten fire before you got married, Maybe some responsibility may want to douse it. Who you actually become in marriage is who you have been before. How is it possible now that my wife will turn me from being a fiery teacher and pursuer of God? I could not even stop her herself. Let me give you an instance. Sometimes I say, honey, come into the room, when husband calls you into the room. Say, are you sleeping outside? Say, I'm still busy. Come into the room now. I just want to talk to you. If wife calls you also, you know the meaning. My wife will tell me, yes, I am coming. I am coming. See, it's in the morning, she's coming. You call her around 12. She'll be coming in around 4 a.m. That 4 a.m., I want to do my own prayer. The only thing I'll be hearing in the middle, so in the midst of will you go and stop her and say, please stop that thing, come here now? You'll be afraid of God, except you are a devil. So she brought her fire from who she was into the marriage. That's why one pastor said, if you are around a person who cannot sustain prayer by herself for 1 hour, fervent, effectual prayer, he said, don't marry the person. Because there are so many problems in life that you will need prayers to handle. If person is all about marriage is coming, wedding is coming, the clothes we're going to wear, the food we're going to eat, you just want to be married to a witch. Like for instance now, I turn 50 tomorrow. You think my brain is planning, oh, what clothes will I wear tomorrow? Where will I go tomorrow? Who is taking me out? Are we mad? Am I mad? What will you want to give me? You go and give me more jadi, what do they call it? Jadi, sugar, cholesterol. You can't give me more cholesterol. You use 60 euro to buy cholesterol for me in the shop. Well, all of the things they say 60 euro. If you give me that 60 euro, I'll buy food for the family for 2 weeks. And then you go and give me cholesterol. Then after you now finish this cholesterol, you're not going to the gym. Yeah. It's a waste of time. Why gather it in the first place if you want to go and use money to run it? I have never paid for a gym. And I've never been out of shape. Go on 30 days fasting and prayer. You will discover that you don't need gym. But because your stomach will go to the back. And all the chicks that you have, the chicks will just withdraw by themselves. They'll just withdraw. You just withdraw. If they now check your cholesterol, if they say you were 39 before, all of a sudden they say you are 3. So they will even be asking, please, you need to eat cholesterol. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Yeah, somebody want to take me out for your birthday just to celebrate your birthday. That's not how to live life. You can't even find me. If anybody has planned something in the middle of the night, you can't find me. I'm on a prayer walk. From the moment we finish the prayer, because I want to see something about my life. So where will you bust the balloon? At the prayer walk. You can't catch me. I'm watching the eyes of all of you, all these surprises. I've told you what I needed. Pray. Because that goes into my future. It's an investment. What you are working on now is what you become later. It's not later that you'll be working on what you become there. I can tell you whether you will succeed as a student or not. As the new academic year starts, you are part of every turn up. They do turn up in the church also. Somebody wants to do wedding, and they are coming up with different kind of ceremony for wedding that is supposed to be one day. They do different kind of ceremony that is different kind of days for 6 days. It's a useless kind of life. The only people who do that are people who have really succeeded there. They don't need to be at work for money to be accrued to their account. They have many businesses set running. They don't have to be there. So they are now on a yacht. Even the yacht where they are, all the people that gather around them as they are eating is business they are discussing. When you sit with highly successful people at dinner, they don't have fun. They are discussing business ideas. They came with their business card. When you sit with failure, Their nails will be long. You hear any crack, 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 crack. They order for crab. One crab, 600 euro. He has saved for it for 1 year. They said something about the black community in America. It's black people themselves in America. That the black community buy groceries, accessories of ornament and whatever, worth over $7 billion in the United States on yearly basis. And you know, the people who buy the most, the poor communities. Wearing expensive things that they don't have money to buy or by credit card to impress people who don't like to see them. Many of you, if I walk Gucci now, by the time you are done with this service, you won't. It is the words that I speak. The words that I speak, their spirit, their life. It's not the Gucci that I wear that is spirit and life. Like I bet you, come and tell me what the person you are seated next to wore on Sunday. You have forgotten. Whereas there's a possibility they used all their sushi money to buy it. Sushi just came, 650. You didn't even give God anything and you just took it and used it to buy one perfume. Say, I just want to smell nice. Whereas at Euro shop, there's a perfume they said they're €5. If you put it all over your body, everybody will want to like you. Just €5. Sometime I watch the documentary of highly rich people, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates. I see how simplistic they dress. Then I look at failures. Have you ever seen the pictures they show sometimes of when Jay-Z was a poor man? All over his body, chains, different kind of style, those things can even make your leg. But now the guy is a billionaire. There's nothing on his neck. Sometimes he even forget to comb his hair. That is Rasta hair. The thing is in different places. But as it's in different places, other people look at it and say, this is the new style. He forgot to put it together. They say, that's the new style. They call him for interview. He talk 3 or 4 times. Yo, I do that. Here. And everybody's clapping. I see him at interview in England. They say, so what do you do what do you do when you eat? He say, I just eat something. And everybody's laughing. I said, what is funny what he said? It's because the few words are laced with the status of a billionaire. Money speaks, it has a voice. Success speaks, it has a voice. And everybody can be successful if they want. And it is the time of your youth.